Hi, now we're back to discuss chords built on the interval of the seventh note of the scale, of the major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So that would be a major seventh. A minor seventh would be 1/2 step below, so that would be B flat, C to B flat. An augmented seventh would be C to B sharp. Now B sharp is the same as C, but technically, theoretically, we say B sharp for an augmented seventh. Now, let's look at chords built on sevenths and listen to the sound of the different chords. A seventh by itself is very, very dissonant. So let's say we play from C to B. Very dissonant, one of the strongest dissonances in music. Next to the second, like C to D flat, if you were to play those two notes together very close on the piano, you would see how dissonant they are. Can't do it on the guitar like that. I could do it this way. I could do it an octave apart. And then we have the major seventh and the flatted fifth. In the Middle Ages, that was the devil's interval that was forbidden to be used in music. They felt that it would stir certain emotions, evil emotions in people, and so that was forbidden. But if we look at a major seventh and we put a C chord in between those two, listen to what we get. Beautiful chord. The major seventh is one of the most beautiful chords in music. Very expressive. Now, when we talk about mixing the sevenths, let's go back to let's take first C major seventh and another major seventh, C, B, and A sharp. Very, very harsh. But remember, music must be a mixture of dark and light, calm and tension. If it was all calm, it would be very boring. And all tension, of course, you could. I mean, if you're writing the music for a horror movie or something where you want to portray evil, then maybe you do want all strong, dark colors. The next chord, C minor seventh, that would be C, B flat, and A flat. That's dissonant, not as dissonant, but has its place. The next one, C major minor seventh. So we have C, B, and A. That's an interesting color. Then we have C minor major seventh. So we have C, B flat, and A. That's somewhere in between. It's not consonant. It's not this. That's pure consonance. And it's not very dissonant, but it's an interesting color. C, B flat, and A. If you had an E in there, it would be a 13 chord. But so that's an interesting one. And then we have C augmented seventh. Now this one turns out to be very interesting. You have C, and augmented seventh would be C. And then another augmented seventh would be another C. So we have three C's. It'd be 3 octaves. That could be very useful. I know. You could do it this way too. Let's say we did a G, and a G. have pedals that will add octaves into your music. If you were playing a single line with octaves, that would come out with octaves. So that could be very useful in soloing or in some type of a background. And then too, if we added a note in, let's say I put the F on top, the fourth. Again, that could be very, very useful. Then C major, augmented seventh. Now, so this is going to be C, B, and B. So that's an unusual sound. It's very ambiguous. The colors are hard to explain, but it evokes many feelings. Again, for the ambient guitarist, it might be, I don't know if it's too harsh, but in the background, I think if you let that ring for a long time, it could be very useful. And then so that would be the major augmented seventh, and then the next one would be C augmented major seventh. So that would be C, C and B. Because you have the major seventh on top here. That's fairly harsh. But maybe if we add some notes in. I'm borrowing the third fret. I like that. I like that. You could add in your own notes. Of course, you know, whatever note you want to add in. The next one, C minor augmented seventh. So that would be C, B flat, and B flat. And as I mentioned many times, either I'm guided by the bass note, either the bass guides me or the melody note. Either one can be a guide. And the last one, C augmented minor seventh. So that would be C, C, and B flat. As with the other chords that we've discussed, the seconds, the fourths, the fifths, the sixths, and now the sevenths, as you have a basic chord, let's take this one, the minor major seventh. This one, C, B flat, and A. Now, in between, you have notes in there. So let's color that with well, let's bar it first. Let's do this. Let's bar the whole thing from. That really would translate to a minor 9 almost. Let's try a note in between. Let's add in. So we have C, B flat, and A. Let's put the. E, then it's going to be a type of 13. Let's put the B natural in. That's harsh. So you can see whatever note you would experiment to put in. I would put in a certain note, maybe that I hear a certain color, and you want to put in some note that you find adds a certain sound, a certain color. Remember, this is totally free. We're not. I want you to think really like a painter. If he's mixing, or her is mixing paints to get different colors, there's no laws, there's no rules on, I can't use this much of this color to make this shade. There are no rules. So the same in music. You have to think totally free. Don't let anything hold you back. We are going to look now. I'm going to put up this chart of the chords based on the interval of the seventh. So now we've covered, just to review a second, we've covered seconds. We haven't done thirds because that's the traditional chords, but a lot of our chords will mix into that. Fourths, fifths, sixths, and sevenths. And in our next lesson, we're going to start talking about different combination of chords and progressions. For example, in an upcoming lesson, we're going to talk about modal harmony. Now, for any of you who improvise, you know the modes. The names come from ancient Greece, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, etc. And they were really brought back to existence for use by Claude Debussy in impressionistic music for his search of new sounds and colors. So we're going to look at them, not only the modes, but what Debussy did, making keys out of the modes. You know, we have major keys, we have minor keys, but we can have modal keys. So that's going to be the focus of our next discussion. Then we're going to talk about, in further discussions, bitonal chords, bitonal music, aleatoric music, that's music by chance, and so many different ways that composers for the last, let's say, 150 years have searched for ways to create music that sets them apart from everyone else. So thank you so much for listening to this, and hope you'll continue with our course. And I'm going to put this chart up, and then for our next discussion we will talk about modal music. Okay, now here's the chart that I just talked about. Here we have, in our first example, we have C major, major seventh. Now, here we have a little bit of a stretch. So remember, this is the third fret here, just so I'd have room. Now, the next chord, C minor, minor seventh, third fret. There's the root, so it's all movable. All these chords are movable. Third chord, C major, minor seventh. Then the fourth one, C minor, major seventh. C augmented, augmented seventh. That would be the three C's. And then number 6, this was the one, C major augmented seventh. Number 7, C augmented major seventh. And then this one, C minor augmented seventh. And then the last one, C augmented minor seventh. So, as we talked about before, any of these other notes either open strings in between. So for example, on the first one, you have the 6th string open, you could have the 4th string open, or you could have the 2nd string open on this chord, and then as you move it up, you could keep that note as a pedal, or a drone if you have a bass note. You could add notes in, like you could bar your finger here, close this note in, close this one, any one you want. Again, these 9 diagrams, each one could be moved 12 frets to 12 different chords, and any one of these could be, notes could be added in. So you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of variations just on this page. And this is how I've approached it in, as I said, in my book, Alternative Chords and Progressions for the 21st Century. I've taken all of this and created it in the book which would give you 2,200 chords just in the book. And then if you add your own notes in, take out my added notes and add your own in, then it becomes infinity. So hope to see you for the next lesson on modal harmonies. Thanks again.